one and all. I know there was a lot of people waiting, which is great. When I see a lot of people in the waiting room getting ready for the show, I want to thank you guys all so much for joining in tonight. My name is Jeremy Herrell. They call me the Hip Hop Patriot. For all those that are new to the show, I welcome you. For all those who are not new to the show, you know how we do things right here. I just want to thank you all very much. I love you guys so much for joining in every day, giving me your time every single day. Today is February 17th, year of our Lord 2021. And ladies and gentlemen, today we lost a very precious soul, which we'll get to as soon as people get notified that we're on and they come in to join the show. In the meantime, I will give some live shout outs like we always do to start the show. Kat Goodwin from Reno, Nevada. How you doing, Kat? Thank you for joining in tonight. Trinette Mitchell from Texas. I hope everything's okay down there in Texas with you and your family and the power outages and the ice storms. And I just hope everything's okay with you down there. Belinda Parsley from the great state of Tennessee. I will be in Tennessee this Saturday, and we'll talk about that a little bit today. Jackie Bradley from Indiana, the great Midwest state of Indiana. Brett Safford from New Mexico. I don't really ever get a lot of people from New Mexico, so thank you for joining in, Brett. I appreciate that. Amy Allen from Oregon. How you doing, Amy? Good to have you in on the show tonight. We got Dave Gaudette, Heather Gomez. How you doing? Tamara, I hope I'm saying that right. It could be Tamara. Tamara Price says, R.I.P. Rush. You're 100% right there. Helen Schwartz says no sound. Well, I hope everybody else has sound. Heather Lynn says shout out. Well, there you go, Heather. You got your shout out. Laura Hodge says shout out. Well, you get your shout out too. We have Adam Nelson from Utah. Also, I'd like to say a shout out to somebody's mother who emailed me and asked me to say a shout out to his mother. So Pat Shug. Or Shug. I hope I'm saying that right. Pat Shug. I spoke with your son the other day. We had a great conversation. He's a wonderful man of God, and I know you have a different journey that you're on. So hopefully you can, with conversations with your son, and through this show, it'll help you find God. I appreciate you and him. I'd also like to give a shout out to some people who sent me some really nice letters, and that's Sybil Kaiser. Thank you very much, Sybil. I appreciate that. Elizabeth Tramontano, and got one more here, and that is Diana Packman. So thank you guys very much for your letters. I really, really appreciate them, and everything else that you guys do for me. There's just no shortage of appreciation that I have for this audience, for this family, for this Live from America crew that we have created. Terry Stone says woohoo, and Patricia says hi, I finally made it. You know, that's the good thing about the website, is that you don't have to be prompted by YouTube to come to the show. All you have to do is know that at 11 o'clock and 5 o'clock every single day, go to jeremyherrell.com, and there's a big blue, basically a big blue image that prompts you to click it, and it brings you right to the show. I'm trying to do everything that I can, ladies and gentlemen, to make it easy to view the show, to be in the show, and to be interactive. And I think it's very important to be interactive with your audience. And I wish more talk show hosts and pundits would do that, because, ladies and gentlemen, that's the only way to be. We got to be social. This is called social media. Let's be social. I'd like to start out the show like we always do, ladies and gentlemen. And I think today means a little bit more than even, you know, any other day that we've been doing this, because of somebody that Jesus decided to call home today. It hit me like a ton of bricks. I knew that we were, and that's the thing about people that you know that have complications. Like I had a grandma that I was really close to, who basically raised me, and for years we knew that she was coming to an end. We knew that her health was bad, and she kept hanging on, and she kept hanging on. And sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, when you know that their time is about ready to go, it still hits you. It still hits you like a ton of bricks. So it's a sad day. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the Lord. We will be reading from Jesus Calling, February 17th, 2021, and then we'll be going from that devotional to the Word of God, where it's referenced from. And it says, I am the risen one, who shines upon you always. You worship living deity, not same idolatrous man-made image. Your relationship with me is meant to be vibrant and challenging, As I invade more and more areas of your life, do not fear change, for I am making you a new creation. With old things passing away and new things continually on the horizon. Boy, ladies and gentlemen, that part right there hit me. That hit me right there. With old things going away and new things coming on the horizon. And I'll tell you what, if it wasn't for people like Rush, people like me wouldn't be doing this right now. You know what I mean? So that really hit home right there. Then it says, when you cling to old ways and sameness, you resist my work within you. I want you to embrace all that I am doing in your life, finding your security in me alone. It is easy to make an idol of routine, finding security within the boundaries you build around your life. Although each day contains 24 hours, every single one presents a unique set of circumstances. Don't try to force fit today into yesterday's mold. Instead, ask me to open your eyes so that you can find all I have prepared for you in this precious day of life. And that is referencing Matthew 28:6 and 2 Corinthians 5:17. So let's go to Matthew 28:6 in the BIBLE, the basic instructions before leaving earth. And Matthew 28:6 says the following: He is not here, for he has risen. As he said, come see the place where the Lord lay. Then go quickly and tell his disciples that he is risen from the dead, and indeed he is going before you to Galilee. There you will see him. Listen, I have told you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's the one thing about the Bible, the one thing about the verses and the scriptures of the Bible that is so amazing is that you can take almost every single one of them and apply them to what is going on currently in your life. That's the wonderful thing about the Bible. That's the most amazing thing about it. And what we just read, ladies and gentlemen, is if you kind of think about Rush Limbaugh and the legacy that he's leaving behind, it's people like there's just so many conservative pundits out there that are doing this right now, and none of us would be doing it. None of us would be doing that without him. So it's not necessarily Rush that is going to be rising from the dead, but his legacy has risen. His legacy is that he left behind is so powerful, is such an amazing legacy. And ladies and gentlemen, when there was no two sides of the story, when there was a time when there was just one side of the story, which is kind of like right now. It's kind of like right now when there was no hope, Rush gave you hope. When there was no truth, Rush gave you truth. When he came on and switched on that microphone and started speaking the truth and giving hope from a conservative point of view, ladies and gentlemen, that to me was one of the most incredible things about that man. And God bless President Trump for being able to have the opportunity to award this man and honor this man at the last State of the Union address. Do you guys remember that State of the Union address? Do you remember how powerful that was? Do you remember the people that were honored that night? There will be no State of the Union addresses like the ones that President Trump gave. I can tell you that right now. There are very few that I've seen in the last 30 years that even come close to the way you felt at a President Trump State of the Union. You felt tears. You felt goosebumps. You felt close to somebody. You watched as people were awarded. You watched as people were honored, like Rush Limbaugh. And I think that it was a testament to the man that he was, to the legacy that he was to leave behind. Everybody knew even back then that he wasn't going to be here long. Everybody knew he wasn't going to be here long, ladies and gentlemen. And we still he had the courage to keep going. He had the courage every day to click on that microphone, and it does tear me up a little bit. It does make me a little sad to think about what this man did and what he left behind for people like me to do this. Now, there's been people on this show who have kind of compared me and said, you're the new Rush Limbaugh and stuff. And I've always said, no, I'm not. Nobody can ever be that. And then there's other people who've come on here and who've just been super mean to me, saying, how dare you compare yourself to Rush? I never did. I never would. Other people did. But I think instead of comparing somebody like me to Rush, the only thing that you can compare to Rush is all of us combined. None of us will ever be that man. None of us will ever do what he did for conservatism in this country. But all of us together, all of us who do this, we can carry that torch, and we can hope to one day reach the amount of people that that man reached. So I know that I'm going on and on about this man, but I think he deserves it. And if I could give him the entire time, and you guys could stay here, and you guys would stay here the entire time to listen to it, I would give him the entire time, because that's what that man meant to me and so many others. Now, I want to read what President Trump said about Rush Limbaugh in a statement today from President Trump's office, from the office of Donald J. Trump. And it says, "The great Rush Limbaugh has passed away to a better place, free from physical pain and hostility. His honor, courage, strength, and loyalty will never be replaced. Rush was a true patriot, a defender of liberty, and someone who believed in all of the greatness of our country that our country stands for. Rush was a friend to myself and millions of Americans, a guiding light with the ability to see the truth and paint vivid pictures over the airwaves. Melania and I express our deepest condolences to his wonderful wife, Catherine, his family, and all his dedicated fans. He will be missed greatly. But ladies and gentlemen, he will live on. His message, his legacy will live on through people like myself and so many others who stand up for that right behind me, the red, white, and blue, who stand up for freedom, who stand up for the little guy, who stand up for the voiceless, who stand up for the values that our forefathers put into motion to create the greatest, the best country the world has ever known. And that's not saying it from a conceited or a bragging point of view. That's saying it from a point of view of what this country has done for the rest of the world, how this country has been a shining light in the darkness. This has always been a blessed nation from the very beginning. This has been a blessed nation. Have we been perfect? No. Have we caused problems? Yes. But we have pulled more people out of poverty, and we have pulled more people out of the darkness than any other country on this planet ever. And that statement that Donald Trump made about Rush Limbaugh was, it tears me up just reading it. It tears me up just reading it. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's how I wanted to start the show out today. I wanted to start the show out, obviously, by giving our love and honor to the Lord first, and then by giving a tribute to Rush Limbaugh. If you would, excuse me, a little choked up there. If you would, ladies and gentlemen, please join with me in the Lord's Prayer before we get started with the news tonight. I would very much appreciate that, okay? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you allowing me to do that. And for those who did it with me, thank you very much. I appreciate that too. People, reach down, press the like button of this video, subscribe to this channel, click the notification bell, and when this show is over, copy the link and go over and share it over to Facebook. I got to tell you, yes, I do have a new page on Facebook, but the only reason I did that was to reach out to people who were still lost and could not find my lives, could not find the show. And I've been over there only for that reason, and to talk to people and go and join the groups that people made in my absence. I want to say I appreciate you, but I got to tell you, ever since solely being on places like Rumble, Telegram, and obviously YouTube and my website and stuff, I have no desire to be back over there. I've been back over there for a few days, and it makes me almost sick every time I go back over there. And that's not to say anything to those people who are still over there who haven't left, but I have so much fun on Telegram. I have such a freedom on Telegram and other places like Parler and Rumble and soon to be Freedom. There's so many places, ladies and gentlemen, where I am just enjoying what I am doing so much more. so much more than what I was over there. Kelly Bruno says, please give me a shout out from St. Louis. There you go, Kelly. So if you're not on Telegram, please get the app. Come over there, follow Live from America. They're the public page. It's a blast. I don't even like I've been back on Facebook over there for a few days, and I'm already getting the trolls that helped get me kicked off start being rude and mean again. And speaking of trolls that are being rude and mean, have you seen some of the left, some of their statements and some of their comments about Rush Limbaugh on Twitter and on Facebook? It's the most disgusting thing I've seen in so long. You know what I would never do? If Stretchface Armstrong dropped dead tonight eating her $12,000 worth of ice cream, I would not make fun of her. Okay? I have no problem cracking some jokes with her being alive, but I would never ever be disgraceful in somebody's death. I would never do that. Ever. She's got beautiful grandkids. Her daughter actually produced a show, a documentary on HBO called Outside the Bubble, and they actually leased my Build the Wall song for that documentary, and I got to see her grandkids. And I don't want to take out, and I don't want to do that kind of stuff when she has grandkids like that. And Rush has family, and Rush has children and grandchildren and stuff like that. And for them to do what they're doing, for the left to say what they're saying right now, it is so disgusting. And it is a great example of the left right now. The left has gone so far crazy, ladies and gentlemen, that they actually celebrate somebody's death, that they're actually celebrating the fact that Rush Limbaugh is no longer here, that we will not be able to hear his voice and feel the hope that he spreads any longer. And they're saying the most rude things. I mean, they're laughing about it. They're saying, oh, now that Rush has kicked the bucket, maybe conservatives will do the same thing and shut their mouths and stuff like that. I mean, it's just so disgraceful what I have seen in the wake of this man's passing. And all I can do, ladies and gentlemen, I got so upset when I saw some of that stuff today, and I want to pray to God and ask for God's forgiveness for how rude the rude thoughts I was thinking and how mad I got. And I'm glad that I don't act out the way that they do, because it's sickening and they ought to be ashamed of themselves. And the only thing I can do is pray for them. The only thing I can do is pray for them. And the only thing you can do is the same thing. Okay? Let's move on to some news, ladies and gentlemen. Nelson County GOP in Kentucky is now calling for Mitch McChina to resign from his position as minority leader, because Mitch McChina is no leader. He is no leader at all. He led the Republican Party to their demise. And with his partnership with Nancy Pelosi and his wife's connections to the CCP and their shipping company that they own, and that gets completely funded by the CCP, Mitch McChina needs to go. Your old way of thinking and your old GOP way of thinking and how you work with the swamp donkeys, it's over with, Mitch. Your blue lips and your bruised knuckles and your bruised hands and however the heck you got them, I don't know, but you need to go. And now, ladies and gentlemen, every one of these Republicans that voted to impeach President Donald J. Trump in this last fake phony impeachment have been censured by at least counties in their state, but most of them have been censured by their state GOP. And now Nelson County, I don't know where that is in Kentucky, but I want to give a big shout out to Nelson County and the people that represent the GOP in that county for calling for Mitch McChina to resign from his position, because they have no faith in his leadership anymore. And you know what? I don't blame them, because I have no faith in his leadership. You have no faith in his leadership. President Trump has no faith in his leadership. And the people that he's supposed to, quote, lead have no faith in his leadership. So for somebody to stay where they are when nobody wants them there, like Resident Corn Pop and his hairy legs with the cockroaches and the kids sitting on his lap, it's absolutely disgraceful for somebody in the United States, when you're supposed to be for the people and by the people. It's disgraceful for you to stay in a position like a king or a queen or somebody with royal blood, which does not exist in this country. It is disgraceful for you to stay there. And it just shows you that they just want to stay in power, and that they're that power hungry that even when they know everybody wants them to leave, they still don't leave. Somebody said Central Kentucky, Bardstown, Kentucky is Nelson County. Doris Schaefer said that. Thank you, Doris. I appreciate you letting me know, because I had no idea where Nelson County was. But I got to say, it's a breath of fresh air to see people stand up to people like Mitch McChina, because that's exactly what needs to happen. That's exactly what needs to happen. So shout out Nelson County. I appreciate everything you do. Now let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. You guys remember Dr. Drew, right? Well, we know Dr. Drew now is he didn't come out as really a conservative until President Trump won the presidency. And then he started to come out and talk a little bit about how the Dems react and what they do and the violence that they cause and this, that, and the other. But Dr. Drew used to be on a TV show with Adam Carolla. It was called, I think it was called Adam and Dr. Drew or something. I don't know what the name of it was. But when I was younger, I used to watch it. So Dr. Drew came out and he said something that I had to screenshot, and I had to bring it up on tonight's show because it's absolutely true. He says, amazingly, only 165 patients have been hospitalized with the flu in the entire United States since October. Let me read that first part again before I move on. Amazingly, only 165 patients have been hospitalized with the flu in the United States since October. He then goes on to say, last season, we had 400,000 hospitalizations. The staggering difference may be due to the better hygiene practices, changes in the bacterial field. Either way, continue washing your hands. What he's really saying, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly what I'm about ready to say right now. Those 400,000 hospitalizations from the flu that happened a year ago are the same. It's basically the same number of hospitalizations and deaths that we see with COVID-19. Why? Because, and I have to say this, but in my opinion, I'm not a doctor, YouTube. I'm not a doctor, okay? But in my opinion, seeing just from a common sense point of view, what we're seeing is the flu. That is exactly what we are seeing. It is the flu, ladies and gentlemen. All they did is rename the flu and start labeling every death and every hospitalization COVID-19 when really it's just a flu strain. That's all it is. That's all it ever was. It might be a different flu strain. You got flu A, you got flu B. This might be flu C. I don't know. But what I do know is, ladies and gentlemen, there is no way that COVID came in and said, you know what? I'm not only going to kill people with very low immune systems, and I'm not going to kill the elderly, and I'm going to also kill off the common cold and the flu. Come on. Are you serious, ladies and gentlemen? Do you really expect us, free-thinking, red, white, and blue-blooded Americans, do you really expect us to believe that the flu doesn't exist anymore? That makes zero sense. What makes sense is that they're calling the flu a different name, the scary boogeyman name. Oh, and that way they could lock down the country, destroy small businesses, make Amazon and Walmart and Target and all these big businesses the only place people shop, shut you down, stop churches, stop praising and worshiping God, stop singing, stop going to school, stop learning, stop doing sports, stop working, stay home, depend on the government. You need us, ladies and gentlemen, the government, to keep you safe. You need our expertise to make sure that you can go on living day in and day out. What a crock of crap. Period, ladies and gentlemen. Again, just my opinion. But it's just awful weird, isn't it? That the flu doesn't exist anymore, but COVID-19 is basically doing the same exact thing that the flu used to do, when it existed. Give me a break. We're not gonna, we don't fall into that narrative, ladies and gentlemen. We're not that stupid, okay? We're not that stupid. So for all you masky pads out there, and for all you people wearing 6, 7, 8 masks and putting pillows over your face so you don't catch the flu, you're the ones that look stupid. Not us. It's not weird to walk around without a mask on. Although you want kids to think that, because now young kids who literally think that this is the new way of life and the new normal, you're brainwashing these people. You have changed society in the matter of just 1 year. And we let it happen. We, the people, let this happen. They have changed society. They have socially engineered us to completely change the way we live in less than 1 year. My wife and I went out for dinner this weekend for Valentine's Day, and there was very, very few people out. It looked like a ghost town. And we remember just, a year ago when the town would be alive. There would be things happening. People would be walking on the streets. They'd be walking on the sidewalks. They'd be going out, just like we still do right now. But it was a ghost town. Why? Because they have socially engineered so many millions of people in this country that they're so used to staying home that they don't even want to go out anymore. And that's the scary thing, ladies and gentlemen. Look at all the churches that are doing remote service. How long is that really going to go on? Well, apparently churches are saying it's going to continue to go on forever. Well, okay. Well, what happens then with fellowship? Are we literally encouraging people at this point? Are we encouraging them to stay home? Are we encouraging them not to have fellowship? Are we encouraging them not to come and be one body of Christ in church? I mean, it's really a scary thing, ladies and gentlemen. It really is a very, very scary thing. And I think we need to do what Italy did. Italy decided, no, 5,000 restaurants all opened up at once and said, you want to jail us? Jail us. And there was video going around of people in these restaurants not wearing their masks, cheering at the fact that they had their freedom again to go out to a restaurant and eat. It's really a weird thing, man. It really is. So, let's move on past that. I just thought it was something to bring up, and I thought it was something that we're all thinking, and just so you know, I wanted to say it on the show, so you know that I'm thinking it too. President Biden gets major pushback from AOC and the squad of progressives and the anti-American, anti-Trump losers after rejecting a proposal to cancel student loan debt. They're mad, ladies and gentlemen. AOC and her squad, they're mad because they're not getting stuff for free, ladies and gentlemen. They're not getting stuff for free. I just spoke to somebody who I highly respect today, and you know what he said? He said his daughter's in college, and she's been so brainwashed by college that she doesn't even think in the same capacity as she did when she was home, when she grew up. The values that they taught her are now gone. College transformed her mind, and she literally is all for Biden and all for the left only because they're going to cancel, or because there was a promise to cancel her student debt. Well, now Biden kind of backtracked on that, and now he's starting to get basically that doing what they do the best and eat their own. And now the squad and AOC, they're super mad at Biden. Here's another thing about Biden, ladies and gentlemen. I saved this because I wanted you to hear this today. Oh, no. Where was it? See if I still got it. So I wanted you to hear Biden, another thing that he did today, and nope, I didn't save it. Son of a gun. Let me see if I can find it real quick, because I know I think you really want to hear this. Let's see here. Nope. Can't find it. Well, basically what it was, ladies and gentlemen, was I was going to play the audio for you, but I lost it. The audio basically says it's Joe Biden last night talking about how minorities in inner cities, brown and black people, are too stupid to get the COVID vaccine. And that's literally what he said. I mean, he didn't say the word stupid, but he said that they don't know how to go to Walgreens, and they don't know how to go sign up to get the COVID vaccine. They don't know how to go to their local pharmacy and sign up to get the COVID vaccine. We got to do more about educating them on how to go to their local Walgreens and educate them on how to get in line for the COVID vaccine. It's like, do you realize, again, ladies and gentlemen, they don't even know. They don't even know the things that they're saying are the racist things. They don't even understand that when they talk about this kind of stuff, it's a very racist statement to make. You're literally implying that people in minority communities aren't smart enough to go and get the vaccine, or not smart enough to figure out where to go to get the vaccine. It's such a racist statement to make, but that's Biden's entire career. That is his entire career. This is what he does. This is exactly what he does. He says, remember when he was talking to, oh, here we go. I got it. Here we go. I found it. Ready? See if we can turn this up real quick and you can hear it.
The other portion is a lot of people don't know how to register. Not everybody in the community, in the Hispanic and the African American community, particularly in rural areas that are distant and or inner city districts know how to get online to determine how to get in line for that COVID vaccination at the Walgreens or at the particular store.
He says they don't know how to get online. What this isn't. I remember when the internet first came out. I remember when I first got on the internet, and back then when we had dial-up. Remember, and it would go on forever, and you could finally get online, and it would take like an hour to load a picture or something. That is when people didn't know how to get online. It is 2021, Joe Biden. I'm pretty sure that people know how to get online. And for you to say that they don't know how to get online, to get in line to get the COVID vaccine, is such a racist statement. And you'll never see anybody correct him for that. You'll never see the mainstream media. You'll never see Anderson Cooper. You'll never see anybody correct him and say, sir, are you implying that minority communities are stupid? Because imagine if President Trump had said that. Imagine if President Trump had said anything close to that, ladies and gentlemen. It would be absolutely mayhem. Every station would cover it. They'd have the same talking points over and over and over again, and they would literally say the same thing they said about Charlottesville. They would cut up the audio, and they would make it sound like President Trump said that people in the inner cities and the minority communities don't know anything and they don't know how to get online. And they wouldn't play the rest. They would do the same thing they did about Charlottesville. When they said there's good people on both sides, they just cut it right there and they didn't play the rest. When he said, not the white supremacists, not the neo-Nazis, they should be condemned to the fullest. Remember, if you just played the entire clip? Imagine the hysteria that would have ensued after a comment like that if it was made by President Donald J. Trump. Ruth Burgos says, holla. Exactly. Rod Burning says 100%. Who else we got in here? I just want to read some here. But yeah, it's absolutely crazy. So anyway, moving on. Senator Tim Scott from South Carolina says that President Trump is the most powerful political figure in the U.S. today. And the rest of the Republican Party is now also falling in line with that very same statement, ladies and gentlemen, because they know they don't have a choice. They know they don't have a choice anymore. They know they can't play this, let's separate ourselves from President Donald J. Trump. They can't do that. There is no separating themselves from that. He is the new party, period. And it's really nice to see Senator Tim Scott, who, by the way, I actually respect big time. I respect Senator Tim Scott because he stood up for President Trump and he stood up for everything in this country when it wasn't really popular to do so, especially as a black man. So Senator Tim Scott, you've always had my respect. You are an amazing person. You are such an intelligent human being to have in our government. And I love that man. I love what he stands for. I love what he says. And he couldn't have said anything more true than that statement right there. President Trump is the most powerful political figure in the United States of America today. And Lindsey Graham has been coming out and changing his tune and saying the same thing lately because they know they're never going to win without him. They know that already. Speaking of South Carolina, here's another big win for the United States of America. And here's another big win for Christianity and people as a whole, and especially babies. The South Carolina House passes a ban on nearly all abortions, a bill the Republican governor has promised to sign. South Carolina is joining states with similar measures that would go into effect if the Supreme Court were to overturn Roe v. Wade. You guys, ladies and gentlemen, we are so focused on politics. We're so focused on winning the House. We're so focused on winning the Senate. We're so focused on President Trump coming back and what he might do, to show us that the best is yet to come, that we're not really focused on this. This is a major issue. This is a major issue that we need the Supreme Court to overturn. Okay, there's no more of a horrific crime, in my opinion. And this is coming from somebody, like I've told you before. I was a part of an abortion, okay? I was part of a decision in having an abortion. You guys all know that. I've told you before. It was the worst thing. And I've done some bad things in my life. Don't get me wrong. When I was younger, I've done some pretty terrible things. Never killed anybody or anything like that, but you know what I mean. I did some bad things, but being part of that was by far the worst choice, the worst decision, the worst thing I've ever been a part of. And I wish I wish I could take it back. But this right here, ladies and gentlemen, as a Christian, as a man following God and wanting to walk the footsteps of Jesus every day, even though constantly I fall short, this is one of the most important things to me. This needs to happen. Roe v. Wade needs to be overturned. The Supreme Court needs to step up and save babies, helpless children. We talk about my body, my choice, right? We talk about having a choice and having the freedom to choose whether you want to live or die, right? My body, my choice. And here we are not giving these babies a choice. We are ripping them from their right to live. We are taking a miracle that is God, that God basically overseen and developed and gave them a miracle. I mean, think about that. Think about the fact of just the point of conception when a baby is first come to life, when a soul is breathed in to that child from God, from heaven above. It is probably, to me, the most disgusting thing in the world to kill a child. And I just want to, God, thank you so much for the state of South Carolina and other states that are doing this same thing. And God, we pray in your name that the Supreme Court will hold this in their hearts when they make this decision, Lord, and change this wrong decision that the United States of America made so many years ago. God bless South Carolina for doing this, and any state and any human being who holds the wonderful life of a child to a high standard. And I don't care where that child comes from or where that child was, where the conception of that child is, where it was. From poor people, from rich people, from tall people, from short people, from skinny people, from fat people, from black people, from white people. Human beings have a right to live, ladies and gentlemen. So South Carolina, it was an incredible story that I just wanted to bring to you. It's a positive story, and it's another win for us, ladies and gentlemen. PolitiFake. I have a very big history with PolitiFake. We're moving on, by the way, to the next topic. PolitiFact, who I call PolitiFake, has been basically, I've had a war with them for the last 2 years. Okay, they email me constantly asking me to give statements before they write a story about me. And when I was big and heavy into Facebook, that is when they bothered me the most. Why? Because they're hired by Facebook to do this. But PolitiFake has doubled down, ladies and gentlemen, on their garbage, third-rate, third-party fact-checking of Cuomo's deadly nursing home policy, basically shielding him and protecting him from the scrutiny and the blame that he deserves for what he did to people in nursing homes, and then to go and point fingers afterwards, ladies and gentlemen, that it's not my fault, it's their fault, it's not my fault, it's the staff's fault, it's not my fault, it's the hospital's fault, it's not my fault, it's the nursing home's fault, it's everybody else's fault but Governor Andrew Cuomo's fault, who is who holds the sole responsibility for what has happened in New York. And here comes PolitiFake to the rescue. If you post anything about Governor Cuomo being responsible for killing people in those nursing homes, and PolitiFact sees that, they are going to fact check it and they're going to take it down, and Facebook is going to suspend you. And they've come out with a statement saying as such. This is the evil working together, ladies and gentlemen. This is how the devil works. This is what he does. He gets people to work together to try anything they can to basically hide the light, to put out that lone candle, that light in the darkness. And they're working together, ladies and gentlemen. How disgusting. How disgusting, PolitiFake. You watch my videos, PolitiFake. I have the emails to about 5 of your reporters. I should say 5 of your 18-year-old interns that think that they're saving the world out there by lying and being brainwashed. And I feel so bad for them too. I know you watch it, and I know you're watching this right now. How dare you? You should be ashamed of yourselves for shielding and protecting a man who has done such heinous crimes, far more than Donald Trump ever has done or ever will do. You should be holding that man accountable, and you should be doing your job and doing real reporting like the Epic Times does, like Gateway Pundit does, like Revolver News does, like Just the News does, like Project Veritas does. Okay, like G News does. These people actually go out and get real stories, and they report on real stories, regardless if it makes somebody they like look good or bad. Why don't you learn a little something from the people who do it the right way? Scum bags. Oh, I can't stand PolitiFake. Remember Blue's Clues, ladies and gentlemen? I know I go from topic to topic, but do you guys remember Blue's Clues? You know the little blue dog, who I think it was on Nickelodeon or maybe Nick. I don't know. It was one of those children's channels. But Blue's Clues, Blue's Clues. We are looking for Blue's Clues. I only know that because I had kids, so I have lots of kids. I got a gaggle of children, and they all loved Blue's Clues, right? Blue's Clues, Blue's Clues. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Blue is a little different now. Yep, they are revamping Blue's Clues, and Blue has a little bit of a different message now, too. Blue is no longer a girl dog. Blue is no longer a boy dog. Blue is just a dog, no gender whatsoever. And on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, that's not even that bad. That's okay, whatever, it is what it is. All right, it is what it is. But that's not even the worst, ladies and gentlemen. Blue's Clues is now catering to the transgender LGBTQ ABCDEFG whatever it is movement, and they are now promoting gender dysphoria, ladies and gentlemen. They are promoting gender dysphoria. Let me see if I can find that story for you here. Let's see. There it is right there. Let me read this for you. The new Blue's Clues is a woke puppy. A woke puppy. This puppy is now woke, ladies and gentlemen. Are you happy? The new Blue's Clues is a woke puppy peddling gender identity propaganda to children. Blue's Clues has taken on a new topic outside of the traditional realm of simple numbers and shapes, and letters, to social justice activism of gender dysphoria. Yep, and that was reported by the Federalist. Now let me show you this picture, if I can bring it up here. I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not. See that right there? See the little blue dog? And all the rainbow flag, all the different flags that basically, I don't know, represent all the different genders and everything. Yeah, that's what's happening in Blue's Clues. We are looking for Blue's Clues to find out which gender we are. I have no words. I have no words. This is what our children, not my children, thank God, but this is what people's children out there are now watching. And a lot of parents just turn the TV on as a babysitter, so they don't know what's being peddled to their children. And these companies that run these shows, they know that. They know that a good majority of people just turn on YouTube or turn on Nick at Jr. or Nick at Night or whatever it is, Disney, and they just put their kids in front of it as a babysitter. This is what's getting peddled, ladies and gentlemen. A woke puppy who is peddling gender dysphoria. That's Blue's Clues, ladies and gentlemen. I want to read one thing before we get ready to close the show. And I think it's very important that we read this today. Let me just pull this up as well. Article 4, Section 4 of our Constitution. And I came across this while looking at border security and stuff like that that's going on right now. Article 4, Section 4 of our Constitution requires our government to protect and defend our borders. If the government does not, the Constitution, by virtue of the named part herein, authorizes the free citizens to defend themselves and their state in place of treasonous government. Note, in not defending our borders, government gives aid and comfort to a hostile foreign invasion, and this, under Article 3, Section 3 of the Constitution, is properly labeled treason. And right now, we have caravans of people, probably that have the flu, COVID, whatever you want to call it, have other diseases, sicknesses that are coming into this country that Biden is welcoming in and stop the border wall construction. He wants these people to come in. He wants them to come in so that they can garner more votes in the future, because they know that people will vote for people will vote for Democrats in the future if they let them in this country. But I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, Article 4, Section 4 of the Constitution requires us to defend our borders, because if the government doesn't do it, it is treason. Treason, ladies and gentlemen. And I wanted to read that so that you kind of understood where that is in the Constitution and what we're supposed to do and what our government is supposed to do. Saturday night, ladies and gentlemen, I will be in Tennessee. On Facebook, go to Tennessee Freedom Force. And join the page. I will be speaking at 5 p.m. Central Time in Cookeville, Tennessee at the Washington Avenue Baptist Church Gymnasium. If you want to come meet me, if you want to come and share stories with me, if you want to come and hear me speak like you don't hear me speak enough, you have to join the page so that they can vet you properly first. And then hopefully, if you're in the area, if you're near Cookeville, Tennessee, hopefully I can meet you and we can have a wonderful night and we can have some wonderful dialogue. There will be security there, so you don't have to worry about anything. And I hope to meet you guys there. Also, if you go to jeremyherrell.com right now, all the new items are up on the store. We have more items coming. So the Yahweh shirts, the Armor of God gear, it's all up there. Go check it out. Sign up for the newsletter. And if you can, consider becoming a one-time or monthly donor to help grow the show and what we're doing. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate you joining with me tonight for Live from America. And remember, there are right ways, there are wrong ways, but there's only one Yahweh. So stand up tall. Keep your shoulders back, your chest out, and your head up high, because you are a child of God, and no weapon formed against you will ever prosper. God bless you, and I will see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. for more Live from America. Go to jeremyherrell.com at that time, and it'll prompt you to the show. God bless you. Have a great night. Jeremy Herrell, signing off.